Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Julius here and I'm making a video today. Obviously, the camera is on. So today I really just wanted to talk about, I don't know if any, I guess if it hasn't been clear or not, I know I haven't gotten into specifics, details. I haven't gotten into the details, but eventually I will. I'll talk more about it and open up about it when I feel more comfortable in terms of what I've gone through, in terms of what I currently am going through. But I know that a lot of people in general suffer from mental health problems, whether or not that's just anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, you name it. And since I sort of have gone through a lot of different therapies since I was like in 8th grade and I'm 21 now, I just wanted to offer some of I guess tips that I've found helpful for when you have anxiety, because I do know that around senior year I used to get really bad anxiety and I would not know how to solve it, and sometimes I still don't know. I'm like, oh my god, the world's crashing around me. So just few little tips to help ease your pain and hopefully so you can enjoy your summer and still have fun. So the first one is that I found watching something funny really helps me. People typically say watching TV, watching a show you yeah, that might help, you can try different shows, but for me personally, anything that will just have me dying, and typically not dying laughing, but because my next example is gonna be, I was gonna say Friends, and I know some people love Friends, some people don't like Friends, but sometimes Friends doesn't have you on the floor dying. So something that's funny that you can basically turn on and not necessarily have to pay attention to, but something that will get your mind out of wherever your mind currently is. So yeah, I watch funny TV shows, or I'll watch a funny movie, something that will just make me laugh, even if I don't want to laugh. I'll just this is funny, have to laugh naturally. The next thing is that FaceTime. I think a lot of people, that's kind of the hardest one, is reaching out to people when you have a lot of anxiety, is talking to people, and especially texting. Yeah, that helps, but I would say FaceTiming somebody, FaceTiming a friend, FaceTiming an old friend. I think FaceTiming an old friend helps even more. Sometimes your close friends really do know what you're going through, or sometimes they don't. But even I would say, just going, again, you want to get out of this current bubble you're in, this current world. So for me personally, what I do is that I'll FaceTime someone I necessarily haven't talked to forever, and I won't tell them necessarily anything that's going on, or oh, I have anxiety, so I wanted to FaceTime you. I'm using you to get out of my own troubles. But what I'll do is that I'll FaceTime somebody maybe from high school, or someone from college, someone I haven't talked to in a while, and I'll just say hey, what's going on? Because when that happens is that I get out of my own head and into their heads, or just into the conversation, because I haven't talked to them in a while. So there's a lot to catch up on, and I sort of just listen to what they've been doing, what's up new with them. They ask me what's new with me, and then I start talking about things that I'm doing, and then next thing I know, whatever was worrying me or had me super stressed out, I'm no longer thinking about it, unless I start thinking about how I'm not thinking about it, and then I start thinking about it. But that doesn't really happen all the time. The next thing I found, which again, I guess these are all I understand these are all super hard to get started, because it sounds very simple, oh, just FaceTime a friend, but when you have anxiety, it's you stare at the phone, you're just thinking all these different things, and you overthink. I know it's super hard, but just press the button and just rip a band-aid off. Which is why the next thing, I know is super hard as well, exercising. I am really bad about this, because I'll exercise at certain periods throughout the year, and then other periods I won't do anything. So this summer I've been really good about running outside around the lake, doing home exercises, things to really just get my mind off of things and just really boost, I think they're called endorphins, which makes you happy. Endorphin, serotonin, I don't know, chemicals. But exercising makes you happy, or makes you, helps ease stress. It sucks and you feel like shit, but it's a good type of shitty feeling. I would say running or walking. If you pop in some music and you just take a walk wherever your favorite place is, walk in a park, that's super relaxing, super helpful for me. These aren't really in a particular order. I'm just going through like what I think, what I do, in case y'all are just like wondering, or if y'all want, advice. So don't like think like, oh, I should do this over this or anything. The next thing I do is, which is kind of against like, I think my second point. The next thing I would say is that honestly, like if I have a lot of anxiety being by myself, if it's not like anxiety coupled with like bad thoughts or depression, a thing I will do is honestly just being by myself, like having like a self-care day or like a self-care night, or just like, like if someone wants to hang out with you, just be like, if you don't want to, like just know, like you have no obligations, you have no work, you just like nothing's on your plate. And even though you do have things in your life that are going on, if you can try to isolate like a night or a day or something where you just have nothing going on, where you can just literally just get out of bed, sleep in as long as you want to like 2, 12, whatever, and then you just like lay in bed, you like lay on the couch, you order from Postmates. I have $100 credit, by the way, if you haven't used Postmates before, because then I get $100 back. Just, you can DM me or whatever. Yeah, like you can just like order food, you can just eat food in the bed all day, watch Netflix, don't have to worry about anything. That helps me tremendously. The day when I do that, unfortunately the day does seem to go by a lot faster, and then like I'm like, I have to do stuff tomorrow, but it still helps reinvigorate me and get me in my mind, like in my good mind, not in like my overthinking mind. I would say also just like going out with friends. I know these are all like, again, like I said, these are all like very different, because these are all for different types of anxiety. Like you have like the general anxiety, like not like the actual disorder, I mean like just general overall arching, at least for me, anxiety, or you have anxiety about specific things that you're overthinking, or like, if you experience anxiety, you know how like there's different like levels of it. Depending on how you're feeling, I also would say, maybe you don't want to isolate yourself. Maybe you should go out with friends, do something fun. I wouldn't say like go out like drinking or go out partying. I mean like sometimes that is fun, but like depending on how your anxiety is, that might not be too good for you. Might be like self-destructive. But I'd say like going out with friends. Like yesterday, I just went to my friends just came over and hung out. We didn't necessarily go anywhere. We just kind of hung out and just talked about life, talked about our lives, played games, talked about like us as friends. Again, we've been friends forever, but like even if you have like one friend come over and y'all just like don't do anything, or y'all decide to go out, whatever. But I guess for me, having people around, or having one person around, we can literally just sit on the couch and I don't have to talk to them at all, but just having that person there, like lessens my anxiety, because it feels like I'm not the only person here. Because when my anxiety gets too much, it feels like the walls are closing in on me, and that I'm all by myself and no one else is around and I'm gonna die. But when there's someone else around, it's like, all right, if the walls continue to close in, this person will save me, or we're just gonna die together, and at least it's not just me. So I hope these things helped. Again, like they're not in any particular order. They're for different levels of anxiety. And again, these are not like, I'm not a doctor, not a psychiatrist, not a therapist. So, I mean, these are things that I have found helpful for my own personal anxiety. And I know that like it took me years, like nearly to like even do this. Like it took me for like this whole entire year I've been saying I was gonna work out again, because I used to like exercise my senior year when things were really bad, and I just didn't do it until this summer. So it took me like months to like say like, okay, I'm gonna run. And once I started doing it, it felt a lot better. So like, it's not saying that like, oh yeah, just FaceTime your friend, like duh. Like I understand that like that can be extremely like, you can sit there for like an hour and just be like, I really hope that, this helps for anybody out there who is struggling with anxiety or any mental issues, that they can, calm themselves and, help ease some of the pain. Oh, also, I would say eating better, like specifically eating like fish. I don't really know anything else. To be honest with you, like I just like eating salmon, and salmon like helps with things. But you can definitely Google, because that's what I did. There's actually a mental health cookbook, or like a some type of anxiety cookbook or whatever, that helps like foods that like will ease your anxiety. It's really, really good. I highly recommend. I have not really used it. It's one of those things that I told you about that I'm getting to, that I haven't gotten to, but I will. So if any of y'all have tried it, or any of y'all are going to try it, I highly recommend, because it seems good. Let me know how it is, and then maybe I'll get pushed a little bit further. All right, peace.